for December 10th, 11th, and 12th. And it's my birthday today, December 10th. Another year older. 22, right? 22 years old. Anyways, let's get to the fishing. I fished Thursday afternoon in Jack's Beach. Bought live shrimp so I could make sure I had the freshest shrimp possible. The shrimp are running pinky size. That's the size I want. And for the whiting, I'm just popping the tails off, popping the head off, but leaving the legs and putting the whole shrimp on there. Number 2 circle hook, Eagle Claw circle hook. And the fish were chewing. Fished a little over 2 hours, had 52 or 53 whiting. One of those, I can't even remember now. And a lot of big fish, guys. A lot of 15, 16, a couple 17-inch whiting. One pompano that was 10 inches and several sharks. Water was dark green. Thursday morning when I saw the pictures put up by Sandy on our Facebook group, she works the crane up at the pier. She always gives us a good morning report. I saw that dark green water. I knew I had to get out there. So if you're gonna fish, Friday looks good today. And hopefully Saturday too. Because Friday they're calling for east-southeast 5 to 10, so the water should stay fairly clean. And we get to Saturday and it's gonna be south 5 to 10. If it'll stay light south, it'll stay fairly clean in this area, the Jack's Beach, Ponte Vedra area. And then on Sunday, west 5 to 10. So there's a good chance the water is gonna be pretty decent all weekend. And if it does get dirty in Jack's Beach and you want whiting, just head north. You can head up to Little Talbot, Huguenot. The water should be pretty clean up there. Usually on the north side of the inlets, it stays cleaner. Same in Volano. If you get on the north side of the rocks, within a mile or two of the rocks, that water usually be much cleaner. But like I said, just that one pompano, water was beautiful. So the pompano have made their way south. I saw one report. Brian did real well south of here. Pretty good drive. I guess about a hour and a half drive. He has limited pompano and some nice whiting. And that's where Larry's been. He's been driving south as well. Water temperature, where they're catching the pompano, is around 68, 69 degrees. So Flagler, it's around 67. So from Flagler down, if you want pompano, that's where you need to look and look for that clean water. I know they're using sand fleas and clam, but it seems like sand fleas right now are the beta choice down south. I had some sand fleas the other day I tried when I fished Monday maybe, and not a hit, but I put the live shrimp that I bought, put them on, whiting were hitting them. Thursday afternoon, they were absolutely crushing the shrimp. I usually use the double dropper rigs. Only caught a few fish on those today. I actually went to a regular Carolina rig with about an 18-inch leader, no beads. I took all the beads off because what was happening, I was getting little 8-inch bluefish on the rigs with the beads. So I took all the beads off, just straight fluorocarbon with the circle hooks and the shrimp. But that 18-inch long leader, and the area I'm fishing, you got to look for these on the beach, guys. I've posted a few videos on how to find these spots and what to look for. But basically, it's a sandbar that goes straight east into the ocean and then hangs a sharp left. And so it would look almost like an L from the shore. I'll put a picture up of the area that I'm fishing on the YouTube, where you can post a picture, and I'll just point out where to throw. But basically, that sandbar, the surfers can walk on it. It's about 3 foot deep. On most of the surfaces, it's not even up to their waist at height, or low tide, I should say. But just to the left of it, where it creates that little elbow, it's deep, and probably 8 to 10 foot deep. Every time that line hitting there, they were hitting so fast. I usually have 3 rods when I hit the surf, so I can try different distances. I had to go down to 1 rod because they're hitting so fast, literally within 15 to 20 seconds of placing the bait in that little drop off, the whiting were on, and they were absolutely hammering it. A lot of them were swallowing it down. I had to use the pliers to get the hooks out. If not, I'd have went through a lot of hooks today. I did go lose about 5 or 6 hooks because of the sharks I didn't catch because they bit me off, and I pulled in about 4 or 5. I had one that I never saw, but it took quite a bit of line, and I got him pretty close to the shoreline, and he took one more run and then bit me off. So some decent sharks. I guess they're black tips is what I'm assuming. The ones I caught were, 2.5, 3 foot. I don't eat shark, but I heard they're good to eat, the black tips. So if you want a black tip, get out there, throw some cut bait out. Shouldn't be an issue. Also saw some reds caught earlier this week, Wednesday and Thursday, using cut mullet heads, chunks of mullet. There are still mullet in the surf. They're not shallow. Some of the times when I was throwing out, when the weight hit, I'd see mullet scatter. So they are out there. And the good thing, if you can find a good sandbar with a nice little drop off, you don't have to throw it 100 yards, guys. Most of these fish I was catching were 40 to 50 yards in front of me in that little drop off. At high tide, you can't really see it because it's covered up with a lot of water. What usually happens, how the sandbars reveal themselves, is when the waves are coming in, because it's shallow on the sandbar, those waves tend to crash on top and create a line of whitewash, and that's how you can tell where the sandbars are. And so where the area I'm fishing, that L sandbar, it also created a run out next to it. So not only did I have a drop off, but I had a run out feeding into that drop where it drops deep. So in shallow, the run out was pulling out to where it drops, and I'm just hitting that spot every time. And man, they were on that bait. Actually ran out of bait today. That doesn't usually happen. So we'll be eating fresh whiting the next few days, hopefully. But if you're gonna go out, like I said, Friday should be good, Saturday. And if the wind doesn't get too strong out of the south, the water should be clean all week. And like I said, the water temperatures, we talked about Flagler being 67. Jack's Beach, it's actually back up to about 65, 66, 65 in Fernandina. So it had dropped quite a bit. The only drawback is even if the water gets back up to 67, 68, those pompano that have moved south of here, they're not just going to turn around and come back. This is their migration, and we'll see them again in the spring more than likely. Unless we get 80-degree water in the middle of December or January, we won't see them for a while. You'll have to take a drive down south. But there are, like I said, there's reds. There's still some trout in the surf. But the last few days, mainly whiting. And remember, if you're using circle hooks, do not set the hook. I keep seeing that happen with people using circle hooks, and then the fish comes off. Those circle hooks are meant to just reel. When you see that fish hit, just reel. And a few other people have mentioned the whiting have been a lot of soft bites. What I noticed today is, because I use circle hooks, I'm not worried about reeling as soon as I see one little hit. A lot of these fish were actually hitting the bait 2 or 3 times soft. I just leave it, and the next thing you know, the rod's doubling over. A lot of people make the mistake of seeing that first hit and just starting to reel. Don't do that. You gotta remember, the whiting don't have a big mouth, so they're gonna mouth that bait, suck it in, suck it out, suck it in, suck it out, and then run with it. And when there's a lot of fish around like there were today, that's when they're slamming it over, because it's a competition thing. If you have a fish tank and you got a bunch of fish in it, when you throw that food in it, man, they go crazy. If you got 1 or 2 fish and you throw a lot of food in it, they're not real worried about fending off the other fish. They eat it at a more leisurely pace, from what I noticed. At least in my pond, that's when I just had a few mud minnows in there. They weren't as aggressive. When I added some more, they certainly became more aggressive after that. So that's all I got, guys. Hopefully you can get out there and catch some big whiting. Let me know how you do. If you're in the river, the sheephead are biting, redfish are biting, speckled trout are biting, and a few flounder still. So there's options out there. But the next few days with these lighter winds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the surf should come down some, because coming Sunday night into Monday, we have another It's not a long round of northeast wind, but it's going to be enough to bring up that surf to 3 foot, 3.5, 4 foot. So if you can get out there in the next few days, do it and load up on some fish. And if you can only fish Sunday, go fishing. Don't worry about the Jaguar game. We already know how that's going to end here in Northeast Florida. Another loss, but so go fishing and let me know what y'all do. Thanks for watching. And if you're on Facebook but not on our Facebook group, just type in Broken Reel 23. It'll pop up. We have reports on that page every day from the Northeast Florida area. So do it. Thanks, guys, and tight lines.